Hi, I'm Gary White for Channel 6 Central Kentucky Television, and it's 2020, and I am here with Luke Freese with the Nelson County Extension Office.
Yes,
and
for a new year.
Yes,
new year, new calendar.
Exactly.
So, something to be excited about.
Exactly.
Right?
So last year in 2019, we cooked through the food and nutrition calendar put out by the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Services.
Yes.
And now 2020. We're going to start all over again.
Start all over, 12 new recipes. They all look pretty good. And we'll just kind of do what we did last year and taste them and see what we think and either approve or disapprove. But we had a lot of good ones last year, so I'm hopeful that these will all be good as well. So.
And you can get your copy of the 2020 Food and Nutrition Calendar and cook along with us by contacting any extension offices, either here in Nelson County, Marion County, Washington County, or give us a call, and we will help get you one as well at Channel 6 Television. But for our January recipe, we have citrus chicken stir fry.
Yeah, so it sounds really good. We're going to give it a shot. It's really an easy recipe. Today we're in a new location, if you haven't noticed in your viewing. We kind of had all kinds of things going on in the extension office today, so we moved from the kitchen into the civic center and we got our little setup here. So because we don't have a cooktop, I've just got an electric skillet. So picture this as if you had a frying pan and it was on your range. That's all this is. It's just electric, so that we can cook from an alternate location today.
Absolutely. Yes, busy time at the Nelson County Extension Office, which is good. Kick off the new year.
So the first thing we're going to do, I've already got this. It's on medium to high heat, and we're just going to add, I think it says 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and we're just going to heat that up, and that's going to be kind of our base for making sure our chicken doesn't stick once we put it in there to fry. So this recipe actually calls for chicken thighs. It's not something that you always maybe cook with. I know I usually do chicken breasts. Chicken thighs are more of a dark chicken meat, and then they sometimes have more fat. So you can see the little pieces of fat on these chicken thighs, but if you don't like that and you want to eliminate that, you can just go and kind of cut those little fatty pieces off. But they taste good. They're very flavorful, and I think they'll be really good in this stir fry.
Fantastic. Now, did you say, are they boneless?
They are. They are. These are boneless. You know, we talk about all the time when we do these recipes, if you have stuff at home already that you don't have to go out and buy. So if you have bone-in thighs, or you have chicken breasts, or you have chicken of any variety, you could probably do the same thing. It's just going to be a little bit different as far as what it's asking for. But it still tastes like chicken.
Exactly.
So you're all good.
That's the point.
Yeah. So
and chicken's healthy for you.
Yeah, it's a lean protein meat. So it is. It's a good way to get your protein. If you're not eating meat, you could still do the same stir fry and maybe add some black beans or something instead of the chicken. You still get the vegetables, the snap peas, and it would taste good over rice. So I don't know how that would work, but you got to get creative whenever you're not eating meat. Seems like a lot of recipes have call for meat products. So
absolutely.
All right, Gary. So if you want to, I'll hold this up here, and you can use the tongs there. And if you'll just kind of place those around in our skillet.
Spread it around.
Yeah, that'd be great. All of our oil kind of situated right there in the middle of the pan. So Gary's putting it in the middle and then just kind of moving them to the outside.
Sliding it around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting real fun with it. All right. So as with any kind of raw meat product, you want to make sure that you're sanitizing your countertops and your utensils, that you're not cross-contaminating. Maybe you put the chicken out of the package onto a cutting board, and then you don't want to obviously put your bell peppers on that same cutting board to cut them. This recipe is not necessarily going to matter as much because it's all going to be cooked, so nothing is ready to eat. But if you were to eat one of these raw bell peppers after they, touch that chicken juice, you could be in some trouble. So
what do you want to do with these?
Those you can just place right here with all
the
other chicken juice.
And I did sanitize my hands too before we started. I used some of this hand sanitizer because there's lots of disease going around.
There's a lot of festive viruses and germs going around.
So you want to make sure everybody's staying healthy.
Absolutely.
For the new year.
So the next thing it's going to ask us to do, as those are kind of getting cooked on that one side or browned on that one side, is to sprinkle garlic powder over the pieces. So that's the garlic powder. I accidentally added a little pepper in there before I realized it went in the sauce, but no big deal. We'll
like
just
pepper.
put a little pepper on top.
And sprinkle on each one of them?
Yeah, and just kind of sprinkle it on the top of each one. Get as much coverage as you can. Perfect. Look at that. He's been doing this too much.
There we go.
He's an expert now.
That's right.
Perfect.
Good training. Just get on there.
Yeah, there you go. And we're good. So it's going to tell us.
All good?
This is one of the first recipes, I think, Gary, that I haven't had the magic oven or the magic product that comes out. So
Oh, right.
we're actually going to taste this one.
Oh, wow.
Which is a new thing.
Something new for the new
Yeah,
year.
yeah. So we're going to brown this 2 minutes on each side.
Okay.
And you don't have to set a timer or anything. It's an approximate 2 minutes. And basically what we want to do, I'm going to turn this up just a little bit.
So what temperature
So
because on my
it's medium
handy
to
dandy thing-
high heat is what it calls for. So on your oven, that would be, on your range, usually you either have like a 1 to 10 or something like
Right.
that. It would be like a 7 or an 8
Okay.
on your stovetop. Here I have it on 400 degrees. So,
Okay.
but a lot of your stovetops aren't going to have the degree setting. They're just going to have that 1 through 10 setting.
All right. So is the temperature for cooked chicken on here?
It should be.
Yeah.
I believe it's 160.
Chicken, turkey, 165. Yep.
And we have
165
a
Fahrenheit.
meat thermometer there, so when
We're
we're
good.
ready to do that, we'll check it, make sure we're at temperature.
So whether it's light or dark meat chicken, it's the same temperature,
Same
right?
temperature.
Right.
Yeah, and
So
really,
breast, thighs, whatever, all the same.
yeah,
Okay.
it's going to be with most of your poultry. So I don't know if it has duck on there. Have duck? Probably doesn't have duck.
No.
But it's
Chicken
chicken,
and
and
turkey.
turkey. Most of your poultry is going to be 165 as your cook to temperature. Oop,
Yep.
lost
Okay.
my wire there.
Ground meats 160, beef, lamb, and pork 145. Fish 145.
Yeah. So you can get these obviously here. We have
Yeah.
more of those, and we have some that don't have the temperature ranges, but they're for kids. And then we have the adult version. They have capes on them. You may have seen it in a previous episode. We try to get Gary to
I want
wear
a cape.
one. Yeah, we may get him a cape next time. So all I'm
holding
gonna
out
do,
on me.
I know, right? All I'm gonna do, you can see it has kind of a nice caramelized brown color on them. And if it doesn't have that caramelized brown color after you flip the first one, just kind of wait another minute or two. And they're getting kind of slippery to flip there, Gary.
I spread that oil good.
That's right. And hopefully you can see this one here in the middle. Gary can, at least. It's not as brown as the others, and that's just because the coils on this skillet go on the outside, and so it's not going to get
Sure.
cooked as much. So, but they look nice, and we're going
Yeah.
to let those brown for another 2 minutes.
Cool.
And we'll just kind of go over the rest of the recipe if you
Absolutely.
want, and since we have a little bit of time.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to put this lid on just to kind of keep some of that heat in there.
I remember cooking time varies based on whether you're using a skillet, whether you're using an oven, the oven that you're using, whatever. So
The
you just
temperature,
kind of
and also the thickness of your
Yes,
meat.
absolutely.
And really, if you're in a crunch for time, these chicken thighs are pretty thick. If you want to just slice those down the middle in half, and that will kind of lower your cooking time because it'll cook a little bit faster through instead of having to cook all the way through a 1-inch thick chicken thigh. So keep that in mind too.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not popping, so stick your hand through there.
Oh,
There you go.
there we go. Look at there. That's a lot easier. Critical thinking.
So we have 2 tablespoons of olive oil that we put in there to begin with, and 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. So when we have 5 thighs, 5 pieces, I guess,
Yeah.
here. So just kind of, that will vary as well as to how many
Yeah,
pieces you're going
depending
to have.
on
for it.
your package, the
Okay.
package that you buy. What did you say it called for? 8 ounces?
It said 1 pound.
1 pound. Okay, yeah. So you when you go to the grocery store, you'll
It's on
see
here somewhere.
you pay per pound. Uh-oh, what we got?
The conversion charts are on here, I think, somewhere too, right?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, okay.
That'll convert it to ounces, so it'll be about 16 ounces in a pound.
Okay.
But when you look at the package when you get to the grocery store, it's not going to be exactly 1 pound. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
As long as you're around that 1 pound range, and then obviously if you're cooking for more than 4 or 5 people, maybe you double the recipe and get another package or a bigger package of chicken thighs.
Absolutely. Then we added 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, and
we sprinkled that over the top.
Right. And then we're cooking it.
We're going to cook it for 2 minutes. On each side was what it asked us to do. And then it says in a small bowl to mix the soy sauce, which was 2 tablespoons of low sodium soy sauce. Excuse me, toy sauce is what I got on my mind. Christmas toys. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that low sodium is really important to get because a lot of these recipes are adapted from different recipes that maybe have more fat, more salt. So what they've done for this recipe, if I could imagine, is they've gone from the high-end, high-sodium soy sauce into basically half the salt. And you'll get the same flavor, but it's just a little less salt for you.
Soy sauce has high sodium.
Yeah, and it's basically just salt. Yeah, soy sauce has high. You can practice. Yeah, we can practice that. It's a tongue twister. Yep. Jinx. So we're going to add that, a teaspoon of honey, a half a teaspoon of black pepper, and I believe a fourth a cup of orange juice. And we're just going to mix that all together. You can just stir it with a spoon.
We have that here.
And it kind of looks just like a brown slurry of things, but it's going to taste really good.
Yeah, sounds good. So we pour that over the chicken after it's cooked.
Right, which we're actually after you're done browning it on both sides. So I think we're about ready for that.
Okay. Looking
and
good.
We are getting sizzling. So I'm going to put this here. Now I'm just going to reduce that. A lot of times when you're cooking with electric, the temperature ranges go up and down because it comes on and gets really hot, and then it reaches that temperature that you're asking it to reach, and then it goes down. So it's harder to cook sometimes with electric because you don't get a consistent temperature.
Right.
If you have gas, it's just that same heat all the time. All right, so if you want to pour that now, when you pour this, Gary, whenever you add water or any kind of water to oil, it's going to sizzle and pop and may come up at you. So just be really careful. Add it slowly. Maybe add a little bit and see what happens.
You're standing right there.
Yeah, because it will blow up in your face if there's a bunch of oil and not much water. You can kind of hear it getting going there with the oil meeting with the water. And the same thing when you put your chicken in. If you have chicken that's really has a lot of juices coming out of it and you put it directly into the oil, it's going to pop and spray at you. And you just want your face out of the way for that.
Absolutely.
So since we browned them on both sides, I'm just going to turn them one more time.
Smell it. The soy sauce.
Soy sauce.
The soy sauce scent.
Yeah. Got all kinds of linguist stuff going on today.
That's good. Good stuff.
Tell you what, this is tough to flip.
So that was the soy sauce, orange juice, honey, and black pepper that we combined in there and then poured it over.
Yep.
And we're going to cook for an additional 3 to 4 minutes.
And we're going to put that lid back on top while we wait.
Actually, do we add the sugar peas now?
We can't, yeah. So we're going to add the sugar peas. We're going to let that cook just a little bit because I think those thighs are a little thick. And so we're going to give a little more time just to make sure we're cooked all the way through that 165. But yeah, we're going to add sugar snap peas. You can find these usually at the grocery store. You can find them in like the prepackaged bags that are pre-washed, or you can also sometimes find them in the bin if they're in season. They're really good. They're really good just fresh right out of the bag.
They are good. I like them.
They're sweet. And you can dip them in all kinds of stuff. Hummus or ranch is your thing. Hummus is really good for you.
Yeah.
A good source of protein. So that's a good snack, but we're going to put it in our meal today. And then it calls for 1 bell pepper. We used half of an orange pepper and half of a red pepper because you know, Gary, we like all that color.
Right, we eat with our eyes.
So we didn't put green in there just because we already had green with our snap peas. Only thing we're missing is yellow.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to make it really colorful, you could have added some yellow in there too. Yeah. So I think we're ready. We can go ahead and throw our vegetables in there. Again, vegetables have a little bit of water content in them too, so they might pop at you. So just be careful when you're adding these things to a hot skillet full of oil. Beautiful.
All done in there. Okay.
So you don't have to do, I feel like I'm a broken record when I say this, but you don't have, you have broccoli and onions and something else. You could put that in there and substitute it for the bell peppers and snap peas. Big thing is that you just want your protein source, your vegetables, and then we have some grains. As always, our calendars always tell you how to make it a meal. So for this one, it says to add some low-fat or skim milk, and that'll give you your dairy. So we're trying to meet those 5 food groups in every meal. And then orange slices would really complement the orange citrus flavor of the stir fry. So if you wanted to add oranges, any kind of fruit will do. If you like berries, I always do strawberries whenever you're here, Gary, just because I like strawberries. But it's nice with these calendars. They tell you how to make it a meal. They tell you exactly what you're getting as far as the nutrition facts. Tells you exactly how much cost per recipe, which is $6.42 today.
Not bad.
And the cost per serving is $1.61. So it's going to make 5 servings, I think, and we have exactly 5 thighs in there. So that makes sense.
Cool. And you're putting it over brown rice, because brown rice is better for you than white rice.
Well, yeah, brown rice still has the hull, the shell, the outer shell on the grain, and that's where you get your whole grain. And as we say, you want to make half of your grains whole, which means if you're eating whole grains, or if you're eating grains at all, you want to make sure that half of them throughout the day are whole grains, and you can find that on the back of a nutrition facts label. It'll say at the very, very front, whole wheat, whole grain. And so that's a good tip there.
Yeah.
It does say it's the new year. Everybody's got new physical activity goals and ideas in their minds about how they're going to get healthy and do new things for the year. I know my goal is to try to do some kind of physical activity for 30 minutes for 3 days of the week. I'm starting with something that's achievable, hopefully, and then we'll move up from there. But one of the activity, the
so what have you done so far?
Oh man, I have started with an app, and that's actually the Fit Blue Kentucky app. You can download it on your phone. It's from the University of Kentucky, and it has challenges, step challenges, and different physical activities you can do, workouts. Gives you instructional videos, tutorials on how you can do different, weightlifting moves or body weight, physical activity using just your body weight if you don't want to do the weight stuff. And then it gives you all these recipes too. So you can look up a recipe and you can get a healthy meal. So I have tried to follow that 3 days, and I think I've only done 2 since January 1st. So, but it tells you in the calendar to do SMART goals. Make sure your goals are SMART. And that means they are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and on a timetable. So whenever you write your goals down, maybe your goal is just, I want to be fit this year. That's not really a SMART goal. You really want to make sure that you're targeting days specific, time specific, maybe a goal, if it's a weight goal, if it's a look goal, if it's just, being more healthy, it's hard to kind of measure that. So you want to make sure that your goals are SMART, and that's what it tells you to do.
And be active. And on this calendar, they give you little checks too, so you could, or boxes that you can maybe check off when you were active.
Yeah. Every day you were 30 minutes active. You can check off.
As long as you do 30 minutes a day, it's actually only been a week.
I know, right?
So you would have your 33 days.
Oh, there you go.
If you did do something today.
I'm not failing.
See, that's motivation.
That is some positive reinforcement there.
Exactly.
All right, so I think we're getting there, and a lot of people will look at this and say, yeah, it looks done, right?
Right.
But we want to go ahead and check it and make sure that we're at 165. So if you want to take that little plastic cover off there, and we have these at the extension office too. You can come and snag one. And I want to pick like the thickest thigh to check. So probably that one, and I want to go right And really, if you can, you want to try to go in the side.
Oh, sorry, hold on.
But it's difficult. Might be a two-man job. Or woman.
There we go.
What are we looking like, Gary?
Right now, it's 150. Keeps going.
It keeps going up, keeps going up.
Yeah.
So you can actually get
Getting to
these at the store too, and you can get a digital version, and it'll give you a reading
160.
right away.
Keeps going. I think we plateaued at 160.
Okay.
So we have a little bit more.
So we'll put a little bit, we'll do a little more time. What we'll do is flip those so that we're not burning each side.
So that's another thing that you want to be sure on. I think those are put. Is if you do have various sizes, you want to make sure you don't burn.
Yeah, you don't want to burn the
while you're trying to get the other one.
Right. So you may have to take, if say your thickest piece is where you measure the temperature, and or you gauge the temperature, and then you have maybe some thinner pieces, and the thicker piece reaches 162. You can pretty much assume, I guess. I probably shouldn't say that on camera, but you want to make sure that it's at 165. And like I said, it does take some time for that thermometer to reach where the temperature actually is. And by the time, say I took that chicken thigh out of the pan and then you measured it, or you got the temperature on it, it would have already lost some of the internal temperature because it's already out of the pan.
Right.
So it's kind of hard. If you have a digital one, that's really a good way to do it.
And also, it's a matter of you want to get it to 165 because then everything's dead.
Yeah.
So then if it does, like, as you're sitting there waiting to eat, it gets a little cooler, you're still safe.
You're still safe, yeah. Once it gets to that 165, that means everything that is killed off. And so it's not going to regenerate. Now, it will regenerate, bacteria will regenerate. I'm going to just kind of turn this on keep warm. I think we're good. It will regenerate as it's sitting out exposed to open air. So when you put this out in a bowl or something for your family, say you had a family style meal, you want to go ahead and cover it at least before you eat it if you're going to be any sort of time, 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. As soon as it's exposed to oxygen, that stuff is already starting to gain more bacteria. So good thing to cover it when you're not eating, and then when you're done eating, make sure you put it in the refrigerator if you have leftovers.
Good advice.
All right. I think we are ready. I hope you're ready this morning to eat chicken thighs.
Absolutely. Let's try this. This is our citrus chicken stir fry.
Give Gary his plate on napkin.
And it's our January recipe in our 2020 Food and Nutrition Calendar. And you can get your calendars at the extension offices, and they'd be happy to pass them along so you can cook along with us.
That's right. And I cooked this brown rice ahead of time. And we have, at the office, we have a rice cooker. And it makes it really easy to cook rice. I know sometimes it's a headache to cook it on the skillet or in a pan on your stovetop, just because you have to get the temperature just right. And then if you don't cook it long enough, it's still crunchy. And if you cook it too long, it's mushy. And so a rice cooker, if you can find one, they even have little ones for like $5 or $10 that make just one serving of rice. So they're kind of they're a big help. Save you a lot of time and energy. So, all right.
Very good.
Here we go. I'll serve you first, because that's a polite thing to do. And maybe we'll see if we can just cut
how
one of those
tender.
in half. Yeah, that's good.
And get all of our snap peas and our peppers.
Yeah.
And our chicken. Thank you.
Very colorful. Looks nice. Almost looks like the picture.
I know.
I don't think we had cracked pepper, but we did okay.
Good. Yeah. It's looking good.
I didn't get any orange.
Cut off a piece here.
There you go. And Gary, if you don't like the fatty pieces, just make sure you cut around those. I know my wife doesn't like when there's any fat on her chicken, so.
And that's looking really good.
Yeah.
Tasty.
So, moment of truth.
Yes.
Well, we think.
It's good. It's cooked.
So that's the one thing with
It's very good.
with cooking it to temperature and even sometimes beyond temperature. I always say you'd rather be safe than sorry. So if I got to eat something that's maybe a little more chewy or not as tender, but I know I'm not going to get sick from it.
That's right.
That is ideal.
Absolutely.
So
And chicken is something you have to be careful about.
it is. So there you go. I'm going to take one more bite.
Good job. So that is the citrus chicken stir fry.
We're over here just chomping down.
And you can taste the different flavors.
Yeah.
It's good.
And it's not, I don't think it's overly salty. And again, if you have people who insist that you put more salt in your food, they can always add salt later. But you don't have to put all that salt in it beforehand. And I think it has just enough flavor to, be a good meal.
Good job.
Thanks.
That's the citrus chicken stir fry. It's a January recipe in the 2020 Food and Nutrition Calendar, brought to you by the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service.
Yeah, and this is actually in partnership with the Nutrition Education Program, NEP. So it's a federal grant that the University of Kentucky kind of distributes throughout the state. And if you want more information on any recipes, if you have any chronic illnesses you want to have this meal, but you can't eat olive oil or you can't eat a certain thing, we can always give you suggestions on how to substitute for those things. So just give us a call. We have a wonderful nutrition education assistant in Terry Spriggs, and she's actually out at the Bloomfield Library doing the same thing today.
Just leaving when I was coming in.
So everybody's getting citrus chicken for the new year.
Exactly. Good job. So if you can't find any chicken thighs in Nelson County, that's why.
Yeah, we bought all the stores out. You can also get these calendars throughout town if you're in Nelson County, Bardstown area. I'm sure the extension agents in Washington and Marion County have distributed them in different locations as well. So just be on the lookout for them. You don't always have to come to the extension office, although we'd love to see you. You can just grab them. I know the Chamber of Commerce usually has a box. If you're in downtown Bardstown, you don't want to jog the extra block to come down here.
Right. Sounds good. Well, again, I've been here with Luke Freese at the Nelson County Extension Office. It's been Gary White for Channel 6 Central Kentucky Television. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.